This is gonna be a grind. All right, let's see. I'm not gonna be talking too much in this video because I'm just editing. I'm editing a big tutorial for tomorrow. An hour-long video for tomorrow. New base plate for a game. If you're, that's right, an hour-long upload tomorrow. What's up? Base plate for a game. If you're completely new to Roblox Studio, this might be pretty unfamiliar to you. So let's start with the basics. Let's go with the basics. To move around, use WASD and right-click to drag your mouse and look around. You can select objects by left-clicking them. Let's add some windows to our View tab by clicking View on the top, and we're going to open. I'm going to need you guys to listen as I make this, and let me know if any of my explanations are too confusing. Top, and we're going to open the Explorer. And we're going to open. Okay, so what do we mean? You just, well, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. What do we? Okay, what the heck? And we're going to open the Explorer, the Properties window, and the Output window. I've been recording for the past hour. I'm going to place Output window. I'm going to place my Output window on the bottom. These are the three most important parts of your Roblox Studio screen. The Explorer shows you everything that's contained in your Roblox game. As you can see, we have Workspace, which contains the spawn and the base plate. Any physical object and the base plate. Any physical object in your game is going to be in the workspace to be visible. Interesting. The important aspects of the Explorer that we'll be dealing with will be workspace, starter pack. Today we'll be dealing with workspace and starter GUI. Later on in this tutorial, we'll use some of the move tools to create our own obby. But let's start by creating our first script. The first thing we're going to do is click Workspace and click this plus next to it. Type in script and click create on the normal script. This is called a server script. As you can see, when you first load in the script, it says print hello world. Let's remove all of that to begin writing our own code. Let's begin by playing around with a few commands. Let's create our own obby. Let's begin by playing around with a few commands. The first thing you want to do is go back to View and make sure you have the command bar enabled. You'll see it at the bottom of your screen. Let's make text appear in our output window by using the print command. Follow along and type print hello world. When you type enter, you'll see that hello world is shown in our output window. We just wrote our first line of code. Yay! I need to make this clean. But yes, guys, this is going to be a very boring stream, but I was like, might as well stream it. Command. Follow along and type print hello world. When you type enter, I guess I should do it more like this. The print command. Follow along and type print hello world. When you type enter, you'll see that hello world is shown in our output window. We just wrote our first line of code. Now, the print command is very simple. It just displays something in the console. Let's try it out by printing a number. As you can see, it also prints 1. What if we printed 1 plus 5? It prints 6. It'll print the result out for us. Roblox games take just... Got this. Play something. Let's try it out by printing a number. As you can see, it also prints 1. What if we printed 1 plus 5? Print 6. So it also can compute numbers. If we did print 5 times 2 million, it'll print the result out for us. By the way, guys, thank you for getting us officially to 2,900 subs. Or 3,900 subs. Also, this latest upload is popping off, dude. Oh my gosh. 1 of 10, 257 views. You guys are crazy, dude. You guys are crazy. That's wild. That's wild. You just like that video? How dare you? How'd you make the thumbnail for the health bar tutorial? Funnily enough, friendly, I did it the whole thing on my last stream. My stream this morning. I actually made it during that stream. So you can literally watch me make it from start to finish. The result out for us. But what if we wanted more? I will in my stream tomorrow, Nightlane, but tonight I'm working on a video. But what if we wanted more than 1 line of code? Roblox games take just... Roblox games take... Roblox... This is my 1 hour long beginner's tutorial. Safi, we're covering Hydra, we're covering everything. We got the Rojo stuff on the way. We got replica service. We got everything. What's up, chicken pretzel, bacon pub, sandwich from Wendy's? Line of code. Roblox games take a lot more lines of code than just 1. So let's... Nah, he's busy. So let's go over to Workspace and let's create a new script. This is Premiere. New script. So let's go over to Workspace, click this plus and type in script. We're going So let's go over to Workspace, click this plus, and type in script. We're going to clear the emote game is the text in here, and we're going to write 5 basic lines of code. The first thing we're going to do is print hello world again. This text how to make working toilet Roblox. And this text, oh yeah, blank world again. This text is called a string. Anything inside of quotation marks is called a string, and it's basically just words. You can even put numbers in here. They just won't be viewed as numbers by the computer. So if I tried to do print 1 as a string plus 5 as a string, I'm gonna start doing some Luau stuff, some Luau videos soon. This wouldn't actually do any mathematics. 1 as a string plus 5 as a string. This wouldn't actually do any mathematics. We'd have to do print 1 plus 5, which we'll leave there. This will print 6. We can also print any number, and then we can print. Oh, this is where I fumbled on my words here. Can also print any number. And then we can print a new type called a Boolean. So Booleans basically are true or false. We use these very obvious. We use these to determine the state of something. Let's say called a boolean. So booleans basically are true or false. We use these to determine
What's up, Stanley?
called a boolean. We use these to determine the state of something.
No,
Let's say we'll use booleans later on in if statements. You can also use
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
We'll use it's a complete beginner's tutorial. A boolean. We'll use booleans later on in if boolean. We'll use a new type called a boolean. We'll use booleans.
Dude, what?
Booleans later on in if statements. You can also use normal numbers. Boolean. We'll use booleans later on in if statements. A new type called a boolean. Booleans are basically just true or false values that we can use. You can also use normal.
Sorry, I was recording that for the video.
Booleans are boolean.
Bullying?
Booleans are basically just true type called a boolean. Booleans are basically just true or false values that we can use inside of our code. You can also use normal called a boolean. Booleans are basically just true or false values that we can use inside of our code. You can also use our code. You can also use out of our code. You can also use normal numbers like 1.2 and print them, and nothing will happen. And they'll print normally in the console.
What, dude? What did I?
0.2 and print them, and nothing. 2 and print them, and they'll print normally in the console. In the console. Let's go ahead and
yeah, don't make fun of vector 3, you clown.
Let's go ahead and test out the code we just wrote. In order to test our code in Roblox, let's go to the test menu. Let's go to the test menu, and let's go to this drop down that says play and select run. This is
Travel the world.
Let's go to the test menu, and let's go to this drop down that says play and select run. This is going to run the code without putting our Roblox game in this, without putting our Roblox run the code without putting our Roblox player in the game.
What?
As you can see, when we go to our output here, everything that we just wrote down is printed inside of the console. Good work.
Yeah, I'm taking that out. Good work.
Bro, sound like an idiot. As you can see, when we go to our output here, everything that we just wrote down is printed inside of the console.
Yeah, friendly. All right.
Part 1 of the tutorial is done. It is a, let's see, how many parts is this tutorial? It's 15 parts. You can't join Vector 3. Actually, we are hiring, but not this division. We're hiring video editors. Not for the YouTube channel, for our marketing agency. All right. Let's talk. I'm Stanley, the video editor. Console. Let's talk about if statements, a super important part of coding. If statements are built, if statements function by checking to see if a condition is true, then running code if it is. For example, if I did something that was so clearly true, like if 1 is equal to 1, then print 1, print, then print 1 is equal to 1. Obviously. Now, why did I use 2 equals? Well, remember back when we set up our variables? Oh, this is really... I forgot. If statements. I forgot I did variables first. Chat, I don't know what you guys are saying, but I don't even want to know. All right, friendly, let's chill out, dude. The console. Let's chill out, man. Console. Let's create another script. In workspace, script. In workspace, click the plus and type in script. Let's remove the code once again. Next up, we're going to learn about inside of the console. Next up, we're going to learn about variables. In short, variables store information for you to reference throughout your script. Let's start by creating a... I'm like 99% sure I completely restarted at one point. How to use variables. Yeah. Next, we're going to learn how to use variables. In short, variables store information for you to use throughout your script. Let's start by doing local myname equals Jake. Put in your own name. Now, we're going to print my name. I use subtitles in the beginning of this. By the end of this video, but it's because there's going to be B-roll instead of it being my face, but I got to animate that later on. As you can see, when we go to our output here, everything that we just wrote down is printed inside of the console. Next, we're going to learn how to use variables. In short, variables store information for you to use throughout your script. Let's start by doing local myname equals Jake. Put in your own name. Now, we're going to print my name. Now, I want you to think. What will I want you to think. Now I want you to think. What will this print? Will it print the word my name, or will it print Jake? If you guessed Jake, you would be correct. Bro, I'm doing this like Dora. When we don't use quotations, that means we're referencing an actual instance in our code, which in this case is the my name variable. If I did print my name like that and ran it, you'd notice it would print Jake and then my name underneath it. Let's try another variable. Let's do local my result equals 1 plus 5. If I print result, is it going to print 1? Let's 5. If I print result, let's print Let's print my result. Now, do we think this is going to print 1 plus 5? Or do we think it's going to print 6? If you guessed 6, you would be correct. Because remember when we talked about how printing any mathematical equation would print the result of it. We can also set just about any piece of data in Roblox can be set as a variable. Throughout this video, we'll use variables. Dude, there's 4 challenges in the video, too. To prevent ourselves from having to write the same long lines of code multiple times. One of the biggest rules in coding is to avoid writing the same line of code as much as you can. A lot of the things we'll teach you today are meant to make that. A lot of the things we teach. A lot of as much as you can. A lot of the things we teach today are built around that simple. Take some time to practice with variables and make sure you fully understand.
I gotta edit
them.
this video ball.
It's as simple as now to get a bit deeper, let's do local x equals 5 and local y equals something like -3. If I were to print x plus y, as you know, it would print the result of x plus y. As you know, it would print the result of 5 plus -3 plus 5 plus -3, which would be 2. Let's watch this in action, look at our output when we run our code, and see how it says 2. Great. Now you have an understanding about variables. You're going to be using these a ton when programming. We are 5 minutes into our 60-minute video. Where is the code we're reading? Okay, here we go. One of the biggest reasons you'll be using variables is to reference parts inside of your Roblox game. Let's try Roblox game. Let's try that out. Let's your Roblox game. Let's set a variable for our base plate so we can play around with it. Local base plate equals game.workspace.baseplate. Now let's explain what this syntax means. Everything inside of your Roblox, everything inside of your Now let's explain what this syntax means. Base plate. Everything inside. Let's check on our video's performance. Good, you shouldn't understand. You should be horribly confused right now. You should be in tears. 3901. Epic. Sweet. Video, 263 views. Pretty dang good. Pretty solid. Pretty cool. Pretty nice. Oh, I added a new thing to my channel for like beginners. So I had like a beginner start here section. Our channel looks so cool now. Look at that. All right, back to cuts. Oh, this is so boring. I hate editing. Oh, this is why I have editors, but I don't want to pay money for this video until we're monetized. Baseplate. Everything inside of your Roblox game begins at this keyword game.
Everything inside of your Roblox, like this guy needs.
When you use a dot, you're selecting. Why don't I lie down and take a break? I wish. I have a whole. I gotta post 2 TikToks after this for work, and then I have to probably edit one. Then I have to make a tweet, a YouTube short / Instagram reel. Oh my god. I'm never gonna get to bed. This is gonna be very object within whatever's here. And I was supposed to run 7 miles today, but I didn't have the time to do with all the work I had to do today. In whatever's here. Your game consists of these tabs. So I'm doing. I missed program. I haven't been able to. My partner hasn't been on. Is on vacation right now, so we haven't been able to work on our game. Workspace to reference this folder, and then I use another dot to reference something inside of here. So I'm doing game.workspace.baseplate. So now I have access to the baseplate. If you click the baseplate and look at the property window, you can see a bunch of details about the part you have selected. Let's play around with some to explain them. We can begin by selecting this brick color property to change the color of our baseplate. You can try out different of our baseplate. You can try out different materials like you can try out different materials. You can try out different materials like mud to add new visuals to your game. You can even make parts invisible by using a transparency from 0 to 1. 1 is the most transparent, meaning it's invisible, and 0 means it's fully visible. You can read and write all of these properties using code. Let's try one in our command bar right now. Let's do game.workspace.baseplate.transparency equals 1. I can't wait to wake up and drink coffee. Favorite part of the day. Let's do game.workspace.baseplate.transparency equals 1. When I run this code, ready to move out. I'm moving out officially in like 10 days. 1. When I run this code, our baseplate is going to become invisible. Poof, it's gone. To bring it back, let's go to our command line again and let's set the transparency to 0. Transparency to 0. In order to get the value of a property in our base, in order to get the value of a property inside of our game, let's go back to our script and let's try out a super simple one. Local name equals baseplate.name. If we print name, it's going to print out baseplate. The reason for that is if we go to workspace and we click our baseplate, not only can we read the name here, we can name plate. The reason for that is if we go to workspace and we click our baseplate, not only can we read the name here, we can click baseplate and read this name property under data. Baseplate and read this name property under data. All right, that's another chapter done. We're at 7 minutes so far. On to if statements. Let's talk. By the end of this, my goal is to have this video done tonight. I already made the thumbnail and everything. My goal is literally like, if I could, by some like freak of nature, have this scheduled to upload tomorrow at 12 p.m. and read, I'd be so happy because tomorrow is gonna be a long work day. I just wrote what I wanted to talk about here, and then I just kind of wing it. That's how I do all my tutorials. I wrote 11 scripts before, like I wrote like some code beforehand to like kind of dissect how I wanted to structure it, and then I just kind of went for it. I'm gonna rewatch and figure it out. If I forget something important, it's super easy to add new stuff to this and make adjustments. But you know, data. Let's talk about if statements.
Yeah, if statements.
Super important part of coding. If statements are built, if statements function by if statements function, important part of code. Property under data. Let's talk about if statements, a super important part of coding. If statements function by checking to see if a condition is true, then running code if it is.
Wow.
For example, if
Very
I did something
interesting,
that was
Jake.
so clearly true, like if one,
Yeah, it's just kind of, you know, go for it as I go. That's how I do every tutorial. And so far, I mean, hey, it's been treating me well. I'm starting to write some scripts for some of my more, like, my more conceptual ones. I'll be doing more scripts, but for something that's, you know, like when I do my object-oriented video, that's going to be written and animated and everything. But if I'm just walking through development of something, like, hey, it's easy to wing it.
Is equal to 1, then print 1, print, then print 1 is equal to 1. Obviously. Now, why did I use 2 equals? Well, remember back when we set up our variables, we used 1 equal because we were setting the value of something. In order to make it easier to read and to prevent values from being overridden, we use 2 equals to see if they're equal to. So this line of code simply says, if 1 is equal to 1, then. So whenever you see 2 equals, just think of the word is equal to. Now, because that code is is equal to. Now, because that code is true, this is going to run.
Stanley.
As you can see, it prints it in our console. What if in our console? What if we put something that just console? What if we put something that just wasn't true? Like if 1 is equal to 2.
Tomorrow, chicken, because tomorrow I'm doing a help stream. Tonight I'm just working on my video, working on my tutorial I'm posting tomorrow.
To 2.
If you're new to scripting, you might want to watch this video because it's a beginner's tutorial.
Now, if I run my code here, that is not going to print in our output at all.
This guy's crazy.
Now, what if we wanted to run code like this? But if this wasn't true, what if we wanted in our output at all? What if we wanted something to happen if this wasn't true? Well, we can use an else statement.
Crazy.
Let's create a variable for a number and
Crazy.
call it my number. I'm going to set it equal to 5. Let's do if
What up, chicken nugget?
equal to 5. Let's do if my number is less than 10, then let's do
How'd a video doing? 265 still? It's a 1 of 10, guys. It's fine. 1 of 10 is good. That means it's actually my highest performing video in the beginning ever.
by a significant margin, I would say. As long as it keeps up this pace, then we're looking good. Hold on. Back to work. Equal to 5. Let's do if my number is greater than 10, then print greater than 10, then print my number is greater than 10.
Wow.
Now, right now, if we run this code, nothing is going to happen.
Do I know what unpack does? It takes, what does it take? I've used it before.
What does it unpack? Why do I forget what it unpacks? I can't remember. I've used it before. I just cannot. Dude, but just look it up. People underrate. Just look up what unpack does. You got it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of brain dead right now. Nothing is going to happen. What if we wanted to What if we wanted to print something that said my number is less than 10 because it is? Well, we can use this keyword else. Now, if we do else, print my number is less than 10, it's going to work. So basically, the way an if statement works is it checks this top condition to see if it's true. If it isn't, instead of running the code, it'll use the else statement, which basically means if my number is greater than 10, print this code. However, what this code says is, it isn't. Basically, the way an if statement works is it checks this top. What this code says is if. Let's go, as we're 100 away from 4K. And then road to 10K. I want to hit 10K this month. I know that's a super far-fetched goal, but if my number's... Oh, hi, Synth. So basically, the way... Dude, look at these stats, Synth. Hold up. Hey, thanks, David. Have a great one, dude. Look at these views, bro. These are the past 2 days. We're doing 19,000 views a day right now on YouTube. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just blowing up. It's been tiring though, because I'm doing this on top of, running Vector 3 normally. Like after the stream, I have a bunch of work to do still. Which if you want to calm down. But it's definitely a grind. Can I not see? Hold on. The way an if statement works is it checks this top condition to see if it's true. If it isn't, instead of running the code, it'll use the else statement, which basically means if my number is greater than 10, print this code. However, what this code, it'll use the else statement, which basically means what this code says is if my number... Basically, the way an if statement works is it checks this top condition to see if it's true. If it isn't, instead of running the code, going to work. What this code says, then 10, it's going to work. What this code says is if my number is greater than 10, then print that it's greater than 10. Otherwise, print my number is less than 10. So if we run this code right now, it's going to print whatever comes after the else. As you can see, it prints my number is less than 10. Now, what if we wanted to print something different for each number? We could do something like this. If my number is equal to 4, then print my number is 4. Well, what if we wanted to check it was if we wanted to check if it was 5?
Oh, every time I
then
zone out, dude.
Print my number is 4. Well, what if we wanted to check it was if we wanted to check if it was 5, you might think we have to create a whole new if statement. We can actually combine the power of else and if to make else if statements.
That's the hardest line to drop, bro. We can combine the power.
So we can write else if my number equals 5, then print my number is 5. What this is saying in English is if my number is equal to 4, then print my number is 4. Otherwise, if my number is equal to 5, then print my number is 5. Otherwise, do nothing. Now we can even add an else statement to say print my number is neither 4 or 5. So if neither of these are true, then let's print my number is neither of those. Now you might be noticing in all of this code we wrote that at the end of these if Now you might be noticing in all of this code we wrote that at the end of these if statements, there's the word end. This lets Roblox know that our code is over for this specific block. So anything that I write down here, hello. So anything that this lets Roblox for this specific block. So anything that I write down here is not affiliated with any of these if statements. This means that regardless of what's true for any of these, this code is going to run. If we look at our run right now, we'll see that 1 is equal to 1, our number is less than 10, our number is 5, and hello.
There's more?
5, and hello. What if we could check? Hello. What if we could check 2 conditions being true at the same time?
God.
Let's make another if statement with our number, and let's say if my number is greater than 0 and my number is less than 10, then print my number is greater than 0 and less than 10. What this means is that if both of these conditions are true, then we will run this code. If one of these is not true or it's false, none of this code will run. Now, what if we wanted to say, okay, there's 2 possible things that could be true, but even if only one of them is true, let's still run this code. Let's do that by going to do if my number is greater than 0. Let's do that by saying if my number is less than 0 or my number is greater than 10, then print my number is less than 0 or greater than 10. What this means is if one of these is true, we'll run this code. So the number could be anything under 0 or anything over 10, but it could not be 1 through 9.
Great. All right, on to functions. Putting the fun in functions. Wrong one. Not that one either. Highly doubt it's this one. It's definitely this one. It's not. It's this one. No, it's not. That's the fizz buzz. Oh yeah, it's this one. That's tables. Oh yeah. That's a kill brick. There we go.
Is if one of these is true, not What if we wanted to run multiple lines of What if we wanted to run a ton of lines of code multiple times? For example, let's say I wanted to print hello, print there, and print Jake. No. For example, what if I wanted to do something that would print a sentence? What if we wanted to run a ton of lines of code multiple times? For example, what if I wanted to do something that would print a sentence with each word being on a new line? So if I did print hello, printed there, and print Jake. Now what if I want to run this twice? Obviously, I copy this and I paste this a bunch of times to make it run. Now, that's kind of a pain to do. Yeah, it is. Thanks to functions, we can actually wrap our code. We can use something called We can use something called functions to turn a bunch of lines of code into one easy function, into one easy line. Turn a bunch of lines of code. Yo, Synth, are you still here? Easy lines of code into one easy line of code to call. Let's try that out. Line of code to call. Let's try that out. Let's do function print hello on multiple. Let's do function print hello. Let's try that out. Let's do function print hello on multiple. Let's do function. Let's try that out. Let's easy line of code to call. Let's do function print hello with these open parentheses and create a new line. Any code that we put in between this line and our end. All right, y'all, I'm going to end the stream and just work offline. Peace.